D&G credit service. What makes me unique is that nobody's got what I've got, okay? I have a computer program that was written for attorneys to go through junk debt filings that break the law, and they do it all the time. But first, let me give you a little bit of background about me. I worked for State Farm for 12 years. Then I was a technical recruiter. I worked for a gentleman named Pat Summerall. Some of you guys may know that name, some of you may not. And then I went to work for Syria. And I hated it. I hated it. I met an attorney at a networking event, and he said, look, I've got this computer system, and I'm the only attorney in Texas with it. I'd like you to come work for me. So I went to work with this attorney, and about 9-10 months later, the gentleman that invented the computer program called me at home. And he said, Dana, what are you doing different with your files? Your files are out on everyone's. I said, well, I educate my clients and I give them an action plan. And he said, an action plan? What is that? I tell them what to do while our computer is working, to put their file in the best light for the lender algorithm. And he said, would you send me some of those? So I sent him 3 or 4 because they're all a little different. And he says, how do you know this stuff? I said, well, I've been IAPDA certified, and I used to work for Experian. He said, well, then you are who I'm looking for. The attorneys are charging way too much for this system. The people that need it can't afford it. They're not even touching the files. I invented this computer program to help the little guy. I did not invent this for class action lawsuits. I'd like you to open your own company and let's go national. So nobody has access to what I have. I do the same pool that a mortgage lender does. When we run it through our system immediately detects violations on the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Let me give you an idea of what that was. Let's just say Bob filled out an application for a credit card, right? And then as he filled out that application, every time he made a charge on that purchase, that creditor, legally speaking, has a full color file, meaning all the documents the law requires to prove this is Bob's debt, they have that. In the meantime, Bob either loses his job, has a job loss, a death, a divorce, medical issues. Heck, he may have been able to keep his job, but he took a 50% reduction in pay. It happened to millions of Americans. Whatever happened, when Bob quit making those payments to his original creditor, okay, that original creditor got a tax break, and then they charged the debt off. And then their full color file, they made a black and white photocopy of it, sold to a collection agency. That collection agency had 180 days to reach that person to collect on the debt. When they couldn't, they made a black and white copy of their black and white copy and sold it to another collection agency who had 180 days to reach them. When they couldn't reach them, they made a copy of the copy of their black and white copy and sold it to another collection agency who had 180 days to reach them. This goes on and on and on. Now, typically about 3.5 or 4 years down the road, it gets into the hands of what's called a junk debt buyer. Have you heard that term? Okay. These are investors, and they purchase millions of dollars of bad debt for pennies on the dollar. And what they tend to do is they tend to take that date of last activity, which should have happened years ago when that original creditor first charged that debt off, and they change that date to the date they purchased that debt. What that does is that makes that collection look brand new on the credit report, and it weighs more on their score than it should. So it artificially lowers their score. That's when they broke the law, okay? That's what our computer program was specifically designed to go after. So we do that initial pool, we run it through our system, and our system gives our clients a color-coded credit report. So it's very easy for them to understand. Green is good, any other color means our system found something. Does that make sense? So the first 45 days, our computer communicates directly to the Bureau's computer. It's called eOscar. We're the only computer in that system, okay? It's raw data, so we immediately see when they broke the law, the section, the paragraph. The first 45 days gives them an opportunity to prove what they're saying is true. So you're going to see quite a few deletions that first 45-day cycle. What it's really doing, though, is laying the legal groundwork the government requires to pursue the violations we've already found. So when I got the phone call from the guy that invented this computer system, I had ran into an old friend of mine at a Ritz-Carlton networking event who was a realtor for RE/MAX. Her name's Karen, and I ran into her and I told her about this computer system when I was with the attorney. She was like, Dana, my people are saving to buy a house. They can't afford $5,000. And I said, well, that's all right. She said, but look, I'm getting so many leads with RE/MAX that if you find anyone, I'm looking for a really good girl Friday. I said, okay, I'll keep my eye out. That was the 15th of December. The 27th of December is when the gentleman with this computer program called me. How he found me, I have no idea. Okay? I knew the computer program worked, obviously, because my clients were doing great. So my very next phone call after I got off the with him was to my friend Karen. And I said, Karen, you know that computer program that the attorney had? She said, yeah. I said, the guy that invented it just called me. He's given me the opportunity to market it nationwide. She's like, you gotta be kidding me. So I knew it worked, but I couldn't prove it worked. So I didn't have a logo, I didn't have a website, I didn't have a business card, I didn't have proof. So the person that you see on this card is my very first client that made it through our system that didn't have attorney-client privilege. Okay? When she started with us, her score was 540. Okay? And I know there's a lot of writing on this, but I try to separate myself from the typical because I'm nothing like that. The first 45 days, our system deleted 21 items. That meant those 21 companies couldn't even prove she owed the debt. Okay? The second 45-day cycle, we deleted 9 more. What that meant is they could prove she owed the debt, those 9 companies, but now we've caught them breaking the law. And the way the law reads is either pay the fine or delete the file. It doesn't matter to us. Okay? So the debt that remains after our system, it's legitimate debt. No one, regardless of what you've ever read on the internet, can remove legitimate debt. If they can prove you owe it, if they haven't broken any laws or we're willing to pay a fine, that's where being IAPDA certified comes in. I'm not an attorney. IAPDA stands for International Association of Professional Debt Arbitrators. I'm not an attorney, so legally I can't talk to their creditors for them. However, I can guide our clients through the settlement process, make sure their SIF letter, that stands for settlement in full, is worded correctly so the amount they thought they got negotiated away, that creditor can't legally sell and start their 7-year clock all over again. In this lady's case, she had 5 accounts left over, about $4,500 with one collection agency. We got it negotiated down to $1,500 twice. They tried to trick her. And had we not been watching the paperwork, the $3,000 she thought she got negotiated away, they would have been able legally to sell that debt. Does that make sense? We got the credit card name, and it has proof is in the pudding. All right. When you erase the lies, scores tend to rise. If you look on page 5, okay, this little thing. This is how we're not credit repair. Okay, we're a corrections service. We don't have to assume people's identity to help them. All I need is one government-issued photo ID, authorization to do a mortgage pull. That's all we need. Okay? We can work nationwide. We offer education, information, the use of a proprietary computer program. Attorneys have had it for 15 years. Attorney's not going to put his license on the line for somebody that doesn't. Okay? Okay. Back to the back. Oh, one of our clients submitted us for the best of play. When we won, they never even given it to a credit repair company. I hate that. A credit company, period. So if you look back on page 5, you can see some of the real results. Now, just so people have an idea, is it worth the price? The attorney I was with, we were charging $2,500 per person up front. What an individual does with me is they put $200 down, they have 4 payments of $250, and they're done. We work with them until their score is where their score needs to be. We don't have monthly maintenance fees. We offer a satisfaction guarantee. All you gotta do is follow your action. Any questions? Yes, ma'am?
Is there a legal ramification when you find someone doing something illegal?
Yes. Yes, that's the great thing. Now, we do have an attorney that does work with us. He's on the back end, so.
So let's say somebody really did find ridiculous things that were illegal.
Well, if they were illegal, they have a choice. The creditor can correct the file and put it back on the report, or they can just totally delete it and forget about it. Now, if you're talking about class action lawsuits where they're going to go in, I don't do that.
No, I just wonder if there's a legal recourse for somebody.
There are law firms that will take those.
And that's what the fines are, right?
Yeah. Well, now that the CFPB is in charge, it used to when the FTC was in charge that you knew what your fines were. Now that the CFPB is in charge, they are a self-funded group. They don't report to anyone. So, the creditors are running really scared from it. And now the bureaus are just as liable for the errors because our computer goes directly into eOscar. The bureaus report into eOscar, the creditors report into eOscar.
And your process doesn't have a limit on the number of things. When your system finds things that are done wrong, there's not just 3 every 90 days you can do it.
No. It's simultaneously. That's why we don't charge a monthly maintenance fee. Now, this is just my opinion, but I think anyone that charges a monthly maintenance fee has zero incentive to get you out quickly because you are their residual income. That's why we have a flat fee. That's why we offer education. That's why we can work nationwide. We're not credit repair. We are a computer program designed to correct the credit report. I read something about, going on 2 weeks ago now, 10 years ago, 8% of Americans couldn't qualify for a home loan. Today that number is closer to 60%. And most of it is because of zombie debt. Zombie debt are those old collections that keep coming back to life. Does that make sense? Zombie debt is everywhere. That's why I have skulls, because everyone has skeletons in their closet. Zombie debt keeps coming back to life. And there's simply nothing.
Is it just 2 rounds, round 1 and 2, and is it a fee for both rounds, or?
Yeah, it's a flat fee for both. Now, if you need a third round, because sometimes the law says they have to hold it for 180 days. Let's say our computer's making them prove it, and they're like, they held it 175. They're gonna hold it 5 more days, they're gonna hurry up and sell it. So we may see one deletion, and then we may see a new collection. So if that's the case, round 2 for all the other files will be that new collections round 1. So we offer 3 rounds if it's needed. And the education, guidance, and mentorship throughout.
Question. Does it matter if it's, for example, that old zombie that you were talking about, or versus something that just recently happened, say 2 weeks ago? Is it a faster process to get your credit score fixed?
The more times it's changed hands, the higher likelihood is of them breaking the law.
Okay.
That's just the truth. And you're going to hear people say, well, you know, after 30 days, if they don't reply back, they have to legally remove it. That is true, and a lot of people think there's a period at that sentence, but there's not a period there. It's a comma. Once that creditor can prove what they're saying is true and is accurate, they have any time during that reporting period cycle to report that back to the bureaus. Anyone have an idea what the reporting period cycle is? 7 years and 180 days past the date of the first one. Okay? So, guys, if you ever have any, you know, I've got a lot of old collections, and I just don't know what to do. I'll get around to it one day. So these are bottle openers, so while you're out having fun with your friends. And it says to it on the inside. So it's a round to it, okay? Have it. There you go. All right. Any other questions?
Yes,
Yes.
you may have covered this, and I apologize if you did. What do you charge to do the credit report? You know,
To
to come
do
back
the
with a
initial
color?
poll, to run it through the system, and to come up with their action plan, no, it's $200, basically what they're charging. But I've only been able not to help 4 people. I'm gonna treat your money like it's mine. If I can't help you, I'll show you how you can do it on your own, because sometimes it's just creating credit. Every file is totally different. And the only people I really can't help are the people that have gone through consumer credit counseling. If you're watching this, do not go through consumer credit counseling. It was just like a Chapter 13 bankruptcy on your credit report. The only difference is with a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, the court assigns a trustee, you pay the trustee pays your creditors. In consumer credit counseling, you assign a trustee, then they pay your creditors. So it just appears the same on your credit report. So not only does it affect you the 3, 4, 5 years you're in it, then it affects you another 7 years while you're on it.
Wow.
Does that make sense? All right. Well, thank you guys very much.